We could not find your stream. I hope that I'm streaming right now, but hopefully I got everything set about to check it. So tonight we're going to be talking about superpowers that you didn't know you had it. So a lot of people have special abilities or innate abilities that we really don't nurture. And a lot of times we actually ignore. So tonight we're going to explore those powers, those abilities, and we're going to be breaking down where they came from and how we can develop those. Thank you. We'll be getting there in just a second.
I peep from the shadows, I creep through the shallows. It's just to carry a thought. Heavy is buried a lot, no mark at the spot. Still I'm connecting the dots. Train ran away, unleashed. It's the way that I'm trained. I'm training the beast to be tame. At least give me peace in my brain, till this piece of my brain can finally come to peace with the pain. My puzzle, my riddle, my tack isn't little. My muzzle, my hustle, my man let it fizzle. Current, the storm, flood, go past the drizzle. Yeah, I'm trying to hit you, blast I'm a missile. Passion, a pistol, I carry my issue. A glimpse, you can get it through this, my epistle. Fostered through decades of ritual with this'll. Turning the table, my turn to dismiss you.
The price you pay, believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay, believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay, believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay, believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say,
if this is my fate, I cherish my weight, down in this bitch, that life on my plate. I love my vices, my own device. It's so indecisive, inside I'm divided. I'm trying to stay private and you're all invited. You promise to show when I come to provide it. No spectacle still, you feel the excitement. Just has as a story, the story of Titan. Forgive and forget and forgot to forget. Explosive and focused, well that's what you get. You think that I feel it and feel no regret. And remorse just another pill, I refuse to die just for sure. I bet it'll seem a regrets, but now that I'm here, no need to repress. Seriously focused, no need to impress. Free of my cage, yeah, these with a rest, yeah.
this is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say.
Patient, I peep from the shadows. I creep through the shallows. It's just to carry a thought. Heavy is buried a lot. No mark at the spot. Still I'm connecting the dots. Train ran away, unleashed. It's the way that I'm trained. I'm training the beast to be tame. At least give me peace in my brain, till this piece of my brain can finally come to peace with the pain. My puzzle, my riddle, my tack isn't little. My muzzle, my hustle, my man let it fizzle. Current, the storm, flood, go past the drizzle. Yeah, I'm trying to hit you, blast I'm a missile. Passion, a pistol, I carry my issue. A glimpse, you can get it through this, my epistle. Fostered through decades of ritual with this'll. Turning the table, my turn to dismissal.
This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say.
If this is my fate, I cherish my weight, down in this bitch, that life on my plate. I love my vices, my own device. It's so indecisive, inside I'm divided. I'm trying to stay private and you're all invited. You promise to show when I come to provide it. No spectacle still, you feel the excitement. Just has as a story, the story of Titan. Forgive and forget and forgot to forget. Explosive and focused, well that's what you get. You think that I feel it and feel no regret. And remorse just another pill, I refuse to die just for sure. I bet it'll seem a regrets, but now that I'm here, no need to repress. Seriously focused, no need to impress. Free of my cage, yeah, these with a rest, yeah.
This who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say.
Patient, I peep from the shadows. I creep through the shallows. It's just to carry a thought. Heavy is buried a lot. No mark at the spot. Still I'm connecting the dots. Train ran away, unleashed. It's the way that I'm trained. I'm training the beast to be tame. At least give me peace in my brain, till this piece of my brain can finally come to peace with the pain. My puzzle, my riddle, my tack isn't little. My muzzle, my hustle, my man let it fizzle. Current, the storm, flood, go past the drizzle. Yeah, I'm trying to hit you, blast I'm a missile. Passion, a pistol, I carry my issue. A glimpse, you can get it through this, my epistle. Fostered through decades of ritual with this'll. Turning the table, my turn to dismissal.
This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say, this who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say.
If this is my fate, I cherish my weight, down in this bitch, that life on my plate. I love my vices, my own device. It's so indecisive, inside I'm divided. I'm trying to stay private and you're all invited. You promise to show when I come to provide it. No spectacle still, you feel the excitement. Just has as a story, the story of titan. Forgive and forget and forgot to forget. Explosive and focused, well that's what you get. You think that I feel it and feel no regret. And remorse just another pill, I refuse to die just for sure. I bet it'll seem a regrets, but now that I'm here, no need to repress. Seriously focused, no need to impress. Free of my cage, yeah, these with the rest, yeah.
This who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say. This who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say. This who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say. This who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say.
Chat pulled up here. So we are live. We are live. We cut the music. We cut the music. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. And again, we're going to be talking about superpowers tonight because you have it. Probably don't even know you've got it. Some of you do know you've got it and you capitalize on it. You take advantage of it and you develop a new evolve. That's perfect. And tonight, let's see. Now, the question that I do want to ask.
Action. I peep from the shadows. As I creep through the shallows, it's just to carry a thought. Heavy is buried a lot. No mark at the spot. Still I'm connecting the dots. Train ran away, unleashed. It's the way that I'm trained. I'm training the beast to be tame. At least give me peace in my brain till this piece of my brain can finally come to peace with the pain.
Mistake when I say superpowers like Iceman.
My puzzle, my riddle, my tack isn't little. My muzzle, my hustle, my man let it fizzle. Current, the storm, flood, go past the drizzle. Yeah, I'm trying to hit you. Plus I'm a missile. Passion, a pistol. I carry my issue. A glimpse, you can get it through this, my epistle. Fostered through decades of ritual with this'll. Turning the table, my turn to dismiss you.
Greeks and Romans did in their times. They attributed to these allegories, these archetypes, characters, and they saw and noticed in nature. That's what we're going to do.
This who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say. This who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say. This who you gotta face. This is the price you pay. Believe me, I gotta pray. Mirror, mirror, I gotta say. This who you gotta face. This is.
So that's what I'm doing right here. And let's see, let me check my notes here. So we are continuing the discussion we had last week in regards to power and principalities. So this week I decided to go ahead and narrow the scope down to just powers. And we discussed that power is really just the ability to influence outcomes, right? So whether we're influencing other people, influencing ourselves, influencing objects, we're exerting a power, a force over that. So some examples of this power that we have, we got physical power, which is, strength and endurance. There's also mental power, perception, strategy, clarity, tactics, right? You've got emotional power. A lot of people are advocating for us to tap into more of our emotional power now when it comes to empathy for other people. With that emotional power, we're looking at regulation, again, empathy and resilience. And then you got practical power, the building, fixing, creating things. We got these many different power scales or power sets that people have that we don't attribute to being a superpower because they seem so mundane, regular, and normal to us. But again, we're going to discuss how these are actually superpowers, and we just don't label them so. Now, these powers, well, the ones that I just listed, the power sets, the groupings, These are powers you're already, born with. You take a guy like, a Brock Lesnar type, right? What is he, like 6'8", 300 some odd pounds? He's born that way, And then you got a guy like, Lamar Jackson. He's an anomaly at the quarterback position. He can run the ball. He can also pass the ball, a lot like Michael Vick. Speaking of, right? These guys are born with these abilities. And speaking of Michael Vick was so talented and had so much ability that remember I think it was Madden 2004. If you pick the Atlanta Falcons, you can beat a whole other football team with Michael Vick, right? That's a superpower, right? Then on to that, you have people who are just born innately good at video games. They don't take losses like that, and if they do, they bounce back way better. That's a superpower. Some people just don't get good at video games, not because they don't try. They do try. Just at certain levels and tiers, you really can't reach. Or well, I don't say can't reach. It will take you longer to reach than somebody who's naturally talented in that area, right? Because I believe everyone has the ability to reach and get proficient in any skill. It's just that the way you're wired really is what limits you and how long it takes to achieve proficiency at the level of elite in that skill, right? Let me check the chat here. We got still letting people pile in, Get back to my notes. So these powers that we have, that those power sets, they can also be congruent or equivalent to archetypes. Archetype is a recurring pattern of energy, behavior, and a role that shows up across cultures and time. So like so if you ever played a game like Final Fantasy, you have your mages, you have your warriors, you have your summoners. Those are all different archetypes. And if you played Final Fantasy across, multiple games, you'll see these archetypes pop up in each video game. And that's what we mean by archetypes, right? And those archetypes a lot of times come with, again, those different powers. Summoner can summon, eidolons or gods, or in order to represent them in battle, right? So one of the notes I have here is that typically in life we don't choose the archetype that we are. We kind of fall into it, we settle into it. A lot of times we don't recognize that's what we are, but a lot of people who are around us and in our circle groups, they do recognize these things in us. If you've got the right group, they'll push you more towards that. The wrong group, depending on what the archetype is, they might deter you away from that. So right now, I'm kind of focusing on just those positive archetypes. I don't want to get too much into the negative archetypes because you can use those in effect to your benefit in your positive archetype, right? So again, we're building we're building brick by brick, and this will be part of like a ongoing series of ongoing conversation. So next week, if we finish up with power today or tonight, we will be getting more into opinions and ideas later on, the things that we touched in the first episode of the season, well, the second episode of the season. And again, I'll also be getting more interviews in. So like next week, I do have an interview with Shaniqua of Crafty Bake Company. So be on the lookout for that. But getting back on the power, again, superpower. A lot of people out there are crafty. Ooh, got an error over there. What's going on? Oh my God, YouTube's not responding. Did it cancel me? We there? What's going on? I'm checking the video right now. Looks like we're good. Yo, yo, yo. Hey, we good on you? How we look? How we looking? We good on your end? I'm having a little issue here, a little buffering issue, it looked like. Looks like it's good on my end. Yes, I'm monitoring the chat and I'm monitoring the screen too. Just want to make sure everything's good. And look like it on my end. But yeah, what's your superpower, Hook? In Retro Gaming Dojo? I know you got a superpower, man. And if you don't, what do you? If you don't know what it is, what do you think it may be? With the error popping up again. Oh my goodness. Is it good, looking good to you? Nah, I keep getting an error on my end. But yeah, let the chat know what's your superpower, man. You're a gamer. Is that your superpower, gaming? Let's see here. What did you say? Little stuttering here and there. Yeah, man, it's my signal. Like it keeps pausing on me. It says excellent right now. But like my signal here for some reason at this spot, this location, my service just don't like me. So, but but yeah, getting back to powers, like so it's what I'm following my notes here. So I'm getting to like inherited power. Like so this is the power I got from I'm on this camera. This power I got from my bloodline. And what made me think of that was reminiscing on the funeral. So when I went to the funeral, a few people would ask me, and my brother and my sister, what Drew leave you? What gift did Drew give you? And I immediately kind of knew what they were talking about. Like my dad could take apart an engine and put it together. No roadmap. There was no Google back then, no YouTube. You know, just get up under there and get it done. So he was good at putting things together logically, mechanical puzzles, right? Logic in that way. And that's something that he passed down to me because I realized I'm good at puzzles. Like all I need to do is see how you took it apart and I can put it back together again. I'm good at puzzles, word puzzles. I took psychology and computer electronics, right? So I'm good with puzzles. Superpower, your ability is not giving a fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna have a good stream, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And some people do have that ability, of not giving a fuck. It's not a good thing, not a bad thing. It's just a thing, right? You know, look back on to what inherited from my father. My sister, she's real great at doing hair. Um, Actually, I'm on the wrong camera. I'm on this camera. Let me switch cameras. Microphone. Yeah, but yeah, my sister's great at doing hair. And my brother is HVAC certified, right? So we were good at patterns and putting things together using our hands. But the other thing that I took from that, as I was reminiscing earlier, was okay, was that you know they all had recognized that my dad had certain gifts, and they wondered if their bloodline carried those gifts. And I thought that was profound, right? Pull my note back up. I want to make sure that I'm bringing this to y'all in a structured way and kind of not everywhere, right? And then along with that, one of the thoughts that I had was, some people, we ask a lot of times what was left behind and like money and property and material things. But a lot of times we forget the things that are left behind in our blood, our spirit, our DNA, our aura, our energy field, right? We forget those things. Like some of you have, the drive and you know how like your father, or you have the intelligence and what is it, the clairvoyance, or the yeah, the clairvoyance, clear sight like your mom, right? These are abilities we have that we really don't pay attention to a lot of times. Check the stream here. Yeah, it's real jerky. I don't like that. Oh, I hate that for y'all, and I hate that for me. But we're gonna get through it. we are going to try to get through it as best we can. Let's see. Now, like when it comes to me, my brother and sister, again, that power. It's always not. It's not like a superpower like the comic books or anything. But I do recognize as I've gotten older and been around my siblings and around other people that one of my powers is a lot like Professor X. I'm able to see what a person's potential is, and I can help them also see the potential and help them, you know, develop and master that potential. That's what I want to do. In reality, that's what I do here with the podcast. And that's what I do in real life. If you explore the channel, maybe, uh, you'll see there's a lot going on, right? And when it comes to my sister, I realized one of her abilities. If you've watched the motherhood episode, you'll see my sister she's resilient. And if I'm looking for like a comic book or superpower equivalent, it's kind of like the Phoenix, right? You think you can take her out? No, she just comes back stronger, better, faster, all of that, right? Not taking nobody out like that. She's got willpower, drive, right? And I told her earlier today, she's selfless as a mother. Those are things that those are superpowers that take time to develop, but you have to focus on those and nurture those, right? And then like my brother, he's fire, right? And I compared him to Magneto. If you give him a purpose and a direction, he will burn that shit down in a good way. Right? So these are our superpowers, and I see that we over years we've developed them, and as we lean more into them, we become more complete. CapCut. We become more complete people, right? And again, so a lot of people miss their superpower because a lot of times society tells us, we're not supposed to be that way, or you know, we think it's weird, or again, we think it's just normal. We think everybody is that, right? So some of the questions I have here, it's like, well, what do people say is special about you, right? What do you do that people always comment you on that you just think is normal, right? Do people come to you for anything specifically, right? Like you're the first person they call on this specific thing all the time. Those are signs that you might have an ability, that you might want to tap into and develop. And for the the self-employed and entrepreneurs out there and people who want to be in that lane, that's your cue right there. If somebody's if you're getting a lot of calls, people are reaching out to you for something that you do well, they they let you know that you do it well. Well, if you might have just found your lane, you know. Uh, and then also with that is that as time has gone on, if you think back to when you were a child, there might, there's that's something that you were good at that maybe just, you again, life happened. Maybe you had kids, in the case of women, and a lot of times guys, because take that time off to develop our family. And that's what a lot of people run into as they get older is the empty nesters. You you put yourself to the side for so long that when it's time to get back to you, you kind of forget what you were good at, right? So the task for y'all this week, homework, right? Let's get back to, or let's try to remember when we were children and or teenagers or whatever, and try to remember what we were good at, what we loved, what really, really invigorated us, really gave us that passion, that fire, got us burning, got us going. Let's see if we can tap into that and just start to, live 30 minutes a week, increase it to maybe an hour a week. And start out small and tap into that and see if we can develop that superpower. Hey, if you want to read people's minds, It'll take 5 minutes a day and just start trying to do that. I mean, you might tap into something else along the way, right? So that's what we're gonna do this week. We're gonna focus on our power. Me, I'm gonna focus on helping people develop their powers. For a few of you already out, a few of you out there already know that that's what my focus has been this week, and that wasn't by accident. That was purposeful. I wanted to start to plant the seed. Let me check the chat here. My chat is speed go. All the messages are gone. I don't know what happened to the chat. Um, but yeah, so I wanted to kind of plant the seed. So I want to empower y'all to develop your superpower. So thank y'all for joining the show. Appreciate you for watching. Remember, dominate your day and always beat people. And remember, you got homework. Take your superpower and you develop that motherfucker. I'm out. Y'all have a good one.